Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, next question up here is from my friend Joshua Perry. Josh asks, is there a rep range where estimating reps in reserve or proximity to failure becomes less accurate? For example, is it harder to gauge failure at 15 plus reps to lower rep versus lower rep ranges like 6 reps? Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I think it's pretty clear when you failed when you're in the 6 to 8 rep range. The weight just doesn't fucking move anymore. Yeah, you can ask anybody who's done a set of leg extensions. If I stand in front of somebody doing a set of leg extensions and they start to feel the burn in their quads and things are starting to get painful, guys will stop, and I sit there and if when I used to train people in person, I don't really do it anymore, but occasionally I'll catch a workout with a client or something, but I'll just say one more rep, and you just keep saying one more rep and one more rep, and where they thought failure was, I could do 5, 6, 7, 8 more reps. Leg training is extremely painful, and I think a lot of times people, especially when you get into higher rep ranges, it's really harder to gauge where those reps in reserve are at. I think it's good every once in a while to push yourself to absolute failure just to find out where that is. Now, I don't do it all the time, especially now that I'm getting older because of the central nervous system fatigue that it can cause. But I do think people get overly afraid of training to failure. I used to be balls to the wall, all out, hardcore, train to failure, heavy 6 to 8 rep ranges on everything when I was younger. And I think maybe that's a way to train when you're younger. And a lot of people never truly find out where that's at. I'm kind of coming full circle. I'm kind of coming back around. I have used reps in reserve for the last 6, 7 years, and it's been life changing for me. As far as improving my longevity in the gym, I've been able to train, I've been able to progress, I've been able to continue to enjoy bodybuilding where I couldn't train the way I was before that 6 to 8 rep range or 8 to 10 rep range to failure like I was doing when I was younger. That just was just beating me up and causing too many injuries. But, and this is a big but, have been watching people train at the gym. I really tried to be a student and observe other people training. They probably think I'm staring at them and judging. Well, I am kind of judging, but I watch other people train in the gym, and so many people train like fucking pussies, man. I mean, most people, and I'm sure they're doing some sort of RIR training, but most people, when I watch them, their definition of 2 RIR is probably more like 10. So, I mean, it's so subjective. Like, how the fuck do you really gauge where 2 reps in reserve is at without actually going to failure once in a while? So I think, I like, here lately I've been, and I probably was falling trap to it myself a little bit. I've been programming in, like, just, and I'm trying to progress my strength back up after the shoulder injury, but while being safe and not re-injuring myself. But I've been programming in like one exercise per workout where I will do an all-out set where I take it to absolute failure. Now I keep the rep ranges a little higher, like the 10 to 12 rep range, but I just want to make sure that I'm not getting too soft when it comes to some of that shit. Now, I think every once in a while you have to test your limits and see where they're at. But yeah, I mean, higher rep ranges, I mean, a lot of times your pain threshold is going to give out before you actually get anywhere near failure. I mean, you start, I mean, even like lateral raises burn like fuck for me, man. Doing lateral raises, I get crazy delt pumps and burn, and I, sometimes I'll tap out. And I was training delts the other day, and of course I do have the bump shoulder. And it's not like I use a ton of weight, but I think I was using the 30-pound dumbbells. I don't know. It wasn't a lot. And I got to 12, 13 reps, and I'm like, all right, I think I'm at 2 reps at reserve. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna keep pushing this and see where I go with it. And I got to fucking 20 reps. So even me, I fell victim to, what I thought was 2 reps at reserve, because it was just because my shoulders started to burn. That's not 2 RIR. That's just my shoulders are burning. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think every once in a while you do need to test the limit and see where failure is actually at, so you know where it's at.